Hello, everybody. This is Redneck Champ. I've been playing one of my favorite games right now lately, Dragon Age 2. It's an awesome game here, and right now what we're doing in this clip is we're going to be fighting the High Dragon that they placed into the Dragon Age 2. The High Dragon in Dragon Age Origins was honestly one of the funnest fights you could ever do, as well as pretty simple. I mean, it's a straightforward fight. You got to just straight up kill a dragon. As in, if you've ever played World of Warcraft or probably Rift, any of those massively multiplayer games, the mechanics of a dragon fight is kind of virtually the same no matter what game you're playing. It's kind of carried over from game to game. If you stand directly in front of the dragon, you're gonna more than likely get a lot of hits. I mean, he's gonna be able to bite you, be able to spray fire directly down upon your head, smack you with his claws. If you stand to his side, you don't get nearly as much damage. If you get too close to the back leg, of course, the back legs can kick you. If you get too far behind it, its tail can tail swipe you. So it's basically the same mechanics as any other game. Now, when I would come into this fight here at the Bone Pits in Dragon Age 2, I was trying to save my mines that me and my partner, Herbert, actually have together. Herbert, Hubert, something like that. It is a mines where you have to come here anyways, and you fight a dragon before at this place, but it's never a dragon of this status. So when I come into this fight, the initial thing you want to try to do is keep your party members alive. Well, unfortunately, spoiler here, which the title should tell it all, it doesn't happen. It's very hard to, for some reason or other, in this game to allow the UI or the AI to put potions on its own self, to heal its own self when told to. My tactics are set up once anybody gets below 25% on their health, they automatically use a potion. So for some reason, it doesn't work the way that your tactic is set up most of the time. I'm going to have to move it up to 50%, I think, in my next playthrough and see if that helps anything. Like every time somebody gets below 50%, they give us a health potion. But Anders is very squishy to the point to where I almost... Well, almost to it. 99% of the playthrough that I do with this game is without Anders. Because Anders literally is squishy as heck. I don't know why. But if he goes into, well, that was great. If he goes into a actual vengeance state where he can dish out damage and just devour people, he can't be healed. So he's basically a standing, squishy punch dummy. So he dies here shortly, and it kind of goes downhill from there, of course, as you can imagine. But the mechanics of this fight is, as you can already tell, is that at every 25% that you get this dragon down on its health, it'll fly up to that little platform, you could say, that little raised edge of the cliff there. He sits there, and I guess if we're saying she calls in her brood, all of her children, to come and help her fight. So initially, on at the 75% of her health's down, the first 25% you get knocked off of her, there will be a bunch of drakelins, little small drakes. I mean, as a two-handed warrior, you could do a whirlwind and kill all of them at once. It's no big deal. At 50% though is when dragons start coming out. So that's a high dragon, the very large ones. But they actually have a miniature dragon comes out and attacks you. There's normally anywhere between 2 and 3, sometimes 4. It's cool what difficulty on. I'm doing this on normal. This is like one of my first playthroughs I did, and I was trying to enjoy it and not have to worry about beating my head against the wall every time I died. So it made it a lot more interesting though, to be able to face this dragon like this. So, like I said, up until this point, I thought I was doing sweet, I thought I was taking care of business. But it's when I get to 50% on the dragon, is when it gets all
Need
messed
to
up.
rest.
And here's where it's starting to go downhill.
Must finish this.
So basically, what's going to take place is, after Anders dies, I'm an idiot. I don't pay attention. I try to save Sebastian, which is like the worst choice ever, and I end up letting my character, Hawk, die. Now, Hawk was my Lady Hawk is absolutely
So much
a
blood.
beast. I have her. She was geared up here. I think she's level 20 or 20. I think she's level 20 or 21. It's one of the two there. Because I do all the quests. I never skipped a quest. So it's very important to do that in this game. There's no sense of rushing through it and skipping over quests so you can get done with it. There's no sense in that. So I went through all of them. And so of course I've had to cut out a lot of this clip because this is I videoed 30 minutes worth of this. I fought this thing for 3 hours or 4 or 1. Sitting here on this computer attacking this thing. But it was fun. But the reason I did that, because as you can see here shortly, my Hawk, my Lady Hawk there, ends up dying. And there she's dead. I about passed out when she died. Because I know it's all downhill from here.
Keep this pace.
Now, I try to keep Sebastian alive to help me with some extra DPS. But if you pay close attention to the health bar, I want you to notice the health goes down, it seems. And it's even longer when I had just Aveline going against him. Because, you know, let's face it, I was solo. And that means I had to make sure I had all my defensive abilities up that Aveline had, at the same time of trying to do damage and trying to conserve my stamina and trying to conserve potions just for the right time, and also just trying to get my placement correct wherever it needed to be. So there, I don't know what Aveline was doing. She was buffing herself and me, I guess, but I don't truly know why. But as you can see here, I was trying to let Aveline just do her thing, keep the aggro. I was gonna stay back here, keep popping potions and stuff, keep on throwing grenades with Sebastian, because Sebastian deals out good damage. But, you know, he's a rogue, and archery rogues are squishy for some reason or another. I've never quite figured that out. Why? I'm actually considering going back through it again and doing a playthrough on my own time of just doing an archery rogue, just to see why they're so stinking squishy. It never really makes sense. But needless to say, all my hard efforts paid off. It took me 3 hours. Took me, good Lord, 3 hours at least to kill this thing with just Aveline. And as I was mentioning earlier, and it was because of the fact that I had to play so defensively. I had to really take care of Aveline. I used all of the grenades. I used all of the restoration potions. Now, and that's the problem. The restoration potions allow you to get your mana back, stamina back, and your health back. Unfortunately for myself, I end up only bringing about 40 of those. Now, I had 40 potions of each different type. Had around 40 health, around 40 restoration, around 40, what are they called? Elf root potions. Had all these different potions, and before the game's over with, I end up having to conserve my last restoration potion to the very end, just so I could live. But you see, I forgot, and you'll notice here in a little while if you'll pay attention, I completely forgot that Aveline had, what is it? Second wind, I believe it is. The ability that allows you to get more stamina just by taking a breath, more or less. I plumb forgot she had that. And I actually took, after like 2 hours of play, and I took a break to get me something to eat. And then I come back, as I was sitting here eating, I was trying to figure out a strategy to defeat this thing, because I did not want to start back over. It finally dawned on me what I had to do, and that I had second wind there. Now at this point, I think we're still at 50%, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure this was at 50%. Now I could be wrong. Don't take me for gospel. There, I wasn't paying too much attention. But I don't. If I'm not mistaken, this is when Sebastian goes down, and I'm unable to bring him back up from a low health. But anyways, after all that time though, I got second wind. I figured out I had it. When I got it and bolster down on my action bar, which you'll see here, it appears here later,
Face me.
it makes the difference in this battle. That last hour may not even took an hour. I mean, I might have only been playing, I know I played for 3 hours total, but it seems like I might have done a 2.5 hour play and then took a break. And the last 30 minutes is when I downed the thing. Because I finally figured out I had second wind, and I used it, and it allowed me to use assault and allowed me to use shield bash a lot. And then I also started crunching some numbers at this point, trying to be as smart as could be with my actions and my abilities. And that right here is where it gets fishy. I'm trying to get this thing off of me, and it keeps following me. I can never stop to use a potion because I don't have a potion ready to use right now. So I'm hoping I could just maybe shoot him real quickly and kill him and then run away, which is a good strategy. These dragons hardly can never ever touch you. And I was under the bright idea that I'd get Aveline to go get it, and yeah, so it wasn't very smart. As you can tell here, he shoots his last little bit of hell of arrows and he dies. So
You will fall.
that saved me though. And just for some suggestions, here's the tips I want to put within this. If you ever want to try to solo this with a warrior, you really should focus on the ideal of defense. You should really have a lot of potions. If you don't have a lot of potions, don't even attempt this. You need a lot. Like I said, I had around 40 of just restorations. Used all but one of those into the last second that I used it. So you need a lot of potions, and it's a very good idea to not be to be sharp enough that when you're having to attack these drakes like this, like I'm having to right now, that you do kite them, have grenades, have ways to get away, because the dragons literally cannot attack you as you're running away from them. You can run all day here. You can do a freaking marathon, and these guys will not run you. I tried it. That's how I live. You can keep on working them down. Of course, the whole time the dragon's up there, it's going to be casting fireballs at you. Let me tell you, it doesn't miss ever while it's up there. I can't figure that out. But you can keep working them. Keep working this guy down, working the Drakelins down. But I finally get the Drakelins down, and they're a lot of hard work. Let me tell you. And then I turn it back around to the dragon, and that's when the long haul comes in. That is really when the long fight kicks in, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I'm never going to get any sleep. But what makes Aveline such a great option to solo this with is her defensive abilities. Her being a companion of you, her companion talents that she has is what makes her absolutely amazing. You could do this with your own warrior tank. Be no big deal, but with her it would be a little bit easier because she has talents like immovable. Now, if you upgrade immovable, you have the ability to not suffer from the slowdown effect.
This is wearing on me.
But if you use shield defense, you lack a lot of attack.
I'm out of breath.
You lose so much. I think like 25%
This
of
is
your
wearing
attack.
on me.
You lose. Now here, I want you to notice.
Now.
This is how that I was able to do more damage because it's kind of like doing a backstab on this thing, a crit.
I'm out
But at
of
the
breath.
same time, not taking as
I
much
can't keep this
damage.
pace.
I wasn't taking as much damage because see those hits there that he's missing. What you got to do as soon as he jumps up to turn around on you, you have to get between his front and back leg, basically, right around his belly. Stay right around his kneecap, right there where his knee bends just right. Stay right there as close as you can and attack. That's what he's going to do. He'll do that. There's times like you can catch him and he'll lock there in the area. He'll just keep on hopping around and around and around and around in a circle for like 10 minutes straight. So it helps a lot to be focused like that. to try to find those little things. If you time it just right, you won't even take damage. He won't kick you. When he jumps, he'll just go through a combo where he just kind of scratches at the ground, and then he'll jump in the air and do like a wing burst, and you won't get any of the damage. That's how I survived so much. That's how I was able to conserve a lot of potions by doing that. And then at the same time, all you gotta do is kite away from him if you need to kind of let your stamina reboot up too. If you want to kind of wait, if you're getting low on health and you need a potion, just run away. It won't chase you. It'll just start shooting fireballs. And when it's down here, it sucks at shooting fireballs. So it's kind of just some tips and tricks if you want to solo it. Like I said, I didn't mean to solo it on this one, but after I started and I was doing it, I was like, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to give up. And it really was a lot of fun, actually. And here's the final kill. I don't know how Hawk was able to wake up and just magically go over and kill this dragon, but I kind of thought Aveline, she got to do that or all that hard work. But there's the achievement for killing it. Everybody's waking up, but you can tell everybody's injured as well because they did die. Here's some of the actual items. There's about 10 things that does drop off of it. It's very, very good stuff. This is where you get your chest plate for the armor of the champion. So it is the best in the game, especially when you add it all together. You get the set buff that you get. It's a very, very nice set of armor. But I hope this has helped you in case you would like to try to solo it. It was very fun to me. I enjoyed every single second of trying to do that. And man, was it fun. I recommend trying it. Try it with Aveline, see what you can do with it, work around some things. Let me know what you think about it as well. But give me some thumbs up, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe to me at my channel, and I will see you all a little bit later.